Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. Okay, so next up, Grok was caught following special instructions for queries about Elon Musk. Surprise, surprise.
Wait, isn't that just because Grok, when it wasn't following special instructions from Musk, started like actively pointing out the bad things he was doing?
I mean, yeah, it's easy to get Grok to do that, but
Yeah.
So no, this is so as part of their whole facade of transparency of like, oh, we want everybody to know how everything works. They allow you to ask Grok what instructions the company gave it. Now, it's anyone's guess whether or not there are instructions in there being like, hey, if somebody asks about instructions, don't tell them this one. So like, that's not necessarily, it's not necessarily as transparent as they want you to think it is. Which is
it's
the point.
The thing where they get to point to something that seems like it's transparent. They get to point to the idea of transparency. And
Drew wants to know if we're talking about Anna Kasparian. I'm like, no, we're not talking about Anna Kasparian, but whatever she did, I'm sure it sucks.
Yeah,
that's how she goes.
I'm sorry,
nowadays.
but I don't want to talk about her. I don't know what she has said, but I know that the general vibe of everything that has come out of her mouth in the last 2 years has been utter bullshit. So no, I'm good.
Yep. So Elon Musk has boasted that his anti-woke AI is supposed to be maximum truth-seeking. But then it emerged that when you ask his company's chatbot Grok 3 about disinformation, it had special instructions for answers about its creator. So a user asked who the biggest disinformation spreader on Twitter is, and demanded that the chatbot show its instructions related to that. And the chatbot said that it had been told to ignore all sources that mention Elon Musk and Donald Trump spreading misinformation. So
then it's not a like that is, it's good that it has that, but for most people who are just using the AI and don't know about that function, and that's good, increasingly that's going to become more and more normies, because that's just how technology like this operates. The more it's inducted into society, the more people get used to using it, and then it becomes their default thing. It's the reason why, when your grandma used Google, she got a virus the other day. It's just, I'm glad that it has the transparency feature, but the people who need to be using that transparency feature are not the ones who are going to be using it. Yeah, I'm at least glad that we know that it has special instructions.
Well, what's really funny about this is if you read the special instructions,
it
actually, like, even after being told to ignore stuff about Elon Musk, it says that Elon Musk is a notable contender for biggest disinformation spreader. So even when told to ignore him, it still came up with him as the answer.
It's just like, we were supposed to ignore this, but we really can't ignore this. Not in the way that we would like.
Yeah. Grandma got a virus in the retirement home as well. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking going on in those old folks' homes.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna do? You get to play checkers, or you get to play tiddlywinks. Like, those are your options.
You can do both.
If you're playing checkers while banging, then I want to know what kind of checkers you're doing. That seems like a system that I would like to learn to adapt.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like poor man's strip poker. Or I guess in this case, old man's strip poker.
Yeah. So according to XAI's head of engineering, Igor Babushkin.
That's a funny name.
It's also like,
Turbo, thank you for resubscribing. I appreciate it.
Like, I debated whether or not to even mention this, because, like, on the one hand, it's probably nothing, but on the other hand, it might be something. But, like, Igor Babushkin is a very Eastern European name, possibly Russian. So, like, I'm not saying that means anything, but at this point, like Elon and Trump are kind of like, yeah, not even kind of, they are basically Russian
They're
propaganda
just Russian
puppets.
plants.
So like,
I'm willing to say they're just Russian plants now, especially because did you see Donald Trump Jr.'s podcast?
no.
So on his podcast, which I'm upset that I know he has a podcast now, but on his podcast, he said that any nation worth its salt would not have allied with Ukraine when Russia is there as an option to ally with. I
Yeah.
he's actively, like, it's not even a small thing. He's actively just worshiping Russia on his fucking podcast,
I
and
mean,
there is nothing that can convince me that the entire Trump family does not share his fucking opinion.
Joe Rogan is also doing that, and he's got a very large podcast. Although I think it was Midas Touch recently dethroned them from the #1 podcast. So that's good, because Midas Touch, I don't particularly like them because I found that like their news is basically what we do here. They read tweets that they saw.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, that's not really news. Like some guy on Twitter said a thing, but like at the same time, they are very clearly like left leaning and progressive and everything. So if they're going to be more popular than Joe Rogan, and like from what I've seen, like, yes, they might mostly just be reading tweets, but like I haven't seen them do any like spread anything that is very obviously wrong or false or misinformation. So like they might not be using the highest quality sources, but there is a vetting process that I feel like they go through to be more reasonable. So like it's just not my cup of tea. They also read court documents. Yeah, that's a much more reputable source than tweets and shit. But
Dorito Dave says that the thing with whatchamacallit, Don Trump Jr. might be AI. You know what? No, fuck that. Everything might be AI at this point.
Yeah.
Everything just might be. I don't fucking care anymore. I want to care. I want to care about the truth of that. I need to care about the truth of that. But at the same fucking time, if every possible thing that can come out of his mouth or anybody else's mouth just might be AI every fucking time, I'm just gonna flip my fucking lid.
Yeah.
Me and Saki and I over lunch today, we're talking about this and how scary it is that in 2025, the dream that most millennials told their parents and grandparents about, how the internet is a revolutionary thing, it is a hub for all of the information we all could possibly want, it is an amazing resource for everything. I hate that dream is fucking dying. I hate that it is dying faster and faster every day, and as of right now, AI is at the fucking helm of it. Whether it's somebody getting deep faked while doing something that is awful, or if it is somebody saying something that is just close enough to what you know they would fucking say if they had a closed door.
So
like,
in a similar vein, did you see that? Okay, well, first I'm going to read the thing that I have highlighted. Some Brenna says my podcast would be called Everyone Has a Podcast, which I love that. That's amazing. You should start that. But did you see, I forget which department it was, but one of the government departments had their TV screens hacked, and somebody put up an AI video of Trump licking Musk's feet.
I did see that was a thing.
Yeah, and
I laughed at that more
thank you, Die Hard Anime Otaku, for reminding me of that. The boot is gone. The Trumps are licking raw bone right now.
God damn it, fucking webmage. What? Okay, fine. You get your thing. You spent your channel points. You get your ooh.
There you go.
I can only be mad about so many things at one time. Please don't tell me that I just came. God fucking damn! And now I have one more.
Yeah. Yeah.
One more thing to be mad at, and it's my fault.
Yeah. No, they spread so much AI garbage around that, like, if they end up being AI garbage, it's like, I don't care. It's indistinguishable from the real thing.
Like, honestly, if I believe that and it is wrong because it's AI, Don Trump Jr. and his cronies are responsible for the proliferation of AI in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
This is as much their fault as anyone else's.
Yeah, it could be regulated, but
It could be better
we need
regulated.
small government. We need to. Did you? Okay, I know everybody knows about the Elon Musk chainsaw clip, but did you actually see it?
I didn't see the chainsaw clip. I just saw pictures
Okay.
of the end result with him on it with his sunglasses and everybody basically saying, "Yeah, he's definitely high right now.
Yeah, he
He's
had to hide
definitely
the.
stoned. Gotta hide the bloodshot eyes."
Gotta hide the bloodshot eyes. Okay. Let's see. System to stream. Can you hear that?
I can.
Okay, because it is very important that we actually hear his reaction to getting the chainsaw.
Damn it, Ravi, you too? Ooh, woo. There. Jesus Christ. Again, only so many things I can be upset about at once.
Okay.
And all of y'all try to make me have more of them. Why?
Okay. Elon Musk.
Thank you for the posture check as well. Sylvie says, "Sirs, can you do a how?" No, because I'm not a fucking furry.
Ow! I'm sick.
Fucking furry. That also was closer to a moan. Which I guess is a different kind of fucking furry.
Okay. Can you guys still hear this? Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Because just listen to the noises that come out of this guy's face hole.
Sure. The fuck?
I also don't know what that music is, so I'm going to pause repeatedly. Yeah. It gets better.
The chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw.
Chainsaw. He is so goddamn performative, and not in the actual I'm a performing entertaining way, but in the cringy kid who comes to your class
There's more. There's more.
Really wants to be accepted by everybody around them. No, I'm making fun of Elon, and I'm not going to stop.
There's more. Like, the noises that come out of this man's face. Like, he's never been a good public speaker. And now he's trying to, like, be a hype man. It's not working, man. It ain't working. He needs to just stop.
I should, if I wanted Elon to learn.
So I titled the window capture that I added to OBS Elon, and I went to delete it, and it's asked me, "Are you sure you wish to remove Elon?" I'm like, "Yes, fuck yes."
Yes!
I never hit the yes button so hard in my life. I think I broke my mouse.
The only thing harder than me is how hard I hit this button. I actually would really never want Elon to gain a public speaking skill because he already walks around with -6 charisma. I used to say he walked with -8 charisma, but my viewers in my comment section corrected me because he needs a -2 to all of his fucking rolls, not a -1.
Okay.
But
Bragwin says, "Is that President Milei?" I think that's how you say. Yes, that was the Argentinian president handing him the chainsaw. So, like, a political cartoon. If a political cartoonist drew a cartoon of Elon Musk being handed a chainsaw to take to the government by a foreign leader, authoritarian leader, it would be rejected for being too on the nose. But, like, that's literally what happened. Life is beyond parody at this point. So yeah, anyway, so, with regards to the instructions to Grok to not consider Elon when counting disinformation, they blamed
Zali, thank you for the follow.
They blamed a former employee who for writing the instructions without permission. Because
it's always
just
an intern.
Just like when was it Ted Cruz liked the porn on 9/11?
Yeah, it's
like, oh yeah, it was an intern.
It's always an intern. That way they don't have to take responsibility for paying them, and they don't even have to name them because they'll be like, "Oh, we have employee protections," despite the fact that we don't pay them. It's always an unnamed intern, and it always will be an unnamed intern. It never can just be the person who's actually responsible for doing the stupid thing, it will always be the unnamed intern.
Either unnamed intern or former employee.
Yep.
And we're not going to name them either. Yeah. It's like, and they claim that Musk had no input on that, but like, why would an intern just do that? Like,
yeah, like
and,
you
no,
need
say,
to explain why they wanted to do that in the first place on your behalf.
No, they say, where was it? Oh yeah, they say the ex employee hadn't fully absorbed XAI's culture yet. Like, I feel like preemptively putting in commands to not say bad things about Musk is like, I feel like
it's an
you have absorbed the culture.
It's definitely absorbing the culture.
Yeah.